Hello everyone. Today in the kitchen, y'all, we are making Rasta pasta. Yeah, man. I will be using Alpha strips. They're plant-based grilled chicken strips, y'all. This is my first time using them. As you can see, I have a pan on the stove that I am going to be placing the chicken in. I have a pot of water that I'm trying to boil, and I have a pot that is in the back, and you'll see what that's going to be used for later on. I'm going to start with adding in some oil to my pan. You can use grapeseed oil, olive oil, or avocado oil, whatever oil you want to use. To the pot, I'm going to add in some pink Himalayan salt just to get my pasta going here. And look at how nice and realistic this chicken look, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and add it to this pan. Y'all, I'm so excited about this dish. I've been waiting to make some Rasta pasta, y'all. I actually recorded this a few weeks ago, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and upload this video. I'm using penny pasta for my Rasta pasta today, y'all. And I did not let my water come to a complete boil, but that's okay because I'm going to be multitasking and babysitting, so it's all good. So to this chicken, I'm going to add in some lemon pepper, my best friend. Oh, yes, ma'am. Gotta add in the lemon pepper, y'all. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Lawry's seasoning salt. Just a little bit, y'all. Not too much, because I'll be adding flavor to every part of the dish. Now we're going to go in with a little bit of the Oxtail stew seasoning. Oh, yes, ma'am. Cover that chicken in that Oxtail stew seasoning because that is very, very important. So I'm going to give this a nice stir, y'all. We want these chicken-like pieces to get really brown and kind of come to a crisp, because I've never used this before, but I find that some plant-based meat, when you add it to something that is saucy or wet, it gets kind of wet. So we want this to crisp up really, really good. So we're going to give our pasta a stir, y'all. We did not forget about that pasta. It finally started doing some type of boiling. So I'm going to just make sure it's not sticking together. And I'm not adding oil into my water for several reasons. I don't add oil into the water a lot of times, but you'll see why later on. And yes, I used the same spatula from stirring that water to stir that chicken. This is the crisp that we're going for. That's the crisp that we want to see. So we're going to turn that down, and we're going to get started on these veggies. So I have some red onion here, some red, green, orange, yellow peppers, and some mushrooms. I'm going to go ahead and slice up my red onion, y'all. For the red onion, because there's so many layers with onions, there's no specific way that I wanted to cut it. I just wanted to have some chopped pieces of the red onion in there. You can use Valdea onions, that's yellow, or white onions. Whatever onion you want to use, but I am in love with the red onion, and I felt like it would add a lot more flavor to this dish, so that's the onion that I went with. So we're going to set those to the side, and we're going to get started on our mushrooms. These are portobello mushrooms, and I like to remove the stem. You can use the stem and add it to any dish, but for this particular dish, I won't be using the stem. I'm just gonna set that to the side, rinse my mushrooms, Be careful with washing your mushrooms because you really want to rinse and wipe them off. You don't want to add too much liquid because mushrooms absorb liquid. So I'm going to get a nice slice going on the mushrooms. It doesn't have to be the perfect size. We just want the mushrooms in there because either way we're going to eat it, y'all. So we're going to slice up these mushrooms. Yes, once those mushrooms have been sliced, we're going to start on these peppers. I'm just going to take a piece of pepper off of each one. You can use half of the pepper. You can use a quarter of the pepper. You can use the whole pepper if you want to. But I decided because I have 4 different colors that I'm going to use just about a quarter of each pepper. And I am going to make sure I have no seeds in the peppers and give it a nice rinse. And then I am going to start by slicing the peppers in no particular shape, weight, or order. I just want the pieces to be somewhat long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slice up these peppers real nice. Yes, God. Y'all, remove your stickers off of your peppers. Now, why I didn't see that before, I have no idea. But yes, you want to take your stickers off of the peppers, of course. And I'm just going to keep on slicing these peppers. Like I said, no particular shape, weight, or order. I just want them sliced up, and I just want them to be pretty long in size. These colors are so beautiful. The red, orange, the yellow, and then the green. Some of these I didn't slice well, in my opinion, because some of them are too thick, but I'll take care of that later on. So yes, we are going to add our chicken to a bowl so that we could just set that to the side pretty much. And we'll add some more oil to the pan that we took our chicken out of. And like I said, you can use avocado, you can use olive, whatever oil you want to use. We're going to add our peppers in, y'all. We're going to add in the red and the orange, the yellow, and then we're going to add the green. So yeah, we're going to give this a really nice toss. We want these peppers to saute really, really well. And like I said, I saw a few pieces that I didn't chop well, or maybe that I felt were a little too long. So I did pull some pieces out here and there to kind of thin it out. But like I said, that's just according to my liking. It's no perfect way or particular way that I want it, or that it has to be done. So yes, y'all, number 1 rule, clean as you go. Nobody want to cook in a dirty kitchen. So yeah, we want to keep everything wiped down. So now to these peppers, y'all, I don't know what you thought, but we must add flavor to the peppers. Yes, God gave the peppers flavor, and that is great. But we added a little bit of Caribbean seasoning to the peppers because I feel like that's just going to amp up the flavor palette. So yeah, we're just going to keep stirring them, and they're going to saute. And we just wanted that flavor to be on every piece of pepper. So now we have some butter in the pot that was sitting in the back. I know y'all thought, what in the world are they going to do with that pot? But what I decided to do is add in some plant-based butter, y'all. This is where my cream for the dish is going. So I added my plant-based butter and allowed it to melt down. And to this butter, y'all, I added in some cashew milk. I had just made the cashew milk, so it was super fresh. I added about 3 cups of cashew milk into the pot. Now, I'll post a link in the top right corner of cashew milk that I made. I think, y'all, that was like my first video if you've been following me for a while now. But you can buy cashew milk out of the store. I just find it to be a lot more safe when you make it at home. It's super easy. And I've also used it in an Alfredo video that I posted. I believe that was my second video. And I will post that in the top right corner. So, we just gave this a stir, and yes, I'm using my spatula once again because I didn't forget about my veggies in the back. I want them to get pretty soft, but I don't want them to cook too fast, and I guess they're soft enough for my liking. So we're adding in these mushrooms and red onions to the peppers, and we're just gonna let them saute and let the flavors marinate. So now we need to take this pot, y'all. The stove was off. My pasta hasn't been cooking for a long time. I'm going to wash the pasta, rinse it pretty much, and allow it to cool down. I'm going to take this pot and add in some plant-based butter. Just a little bit, just enough to melt down, and just enough that's going to fill the bottom of the pan. We don't want too much butter, but just enough. Now, I really want y'all to see this because I'm going to add in some flavor. We're going to go in with some Oxtail stew seasoning for this cream that we're making here. You can also use jerk seasoning, but because the kids are eating it, I didn't want it to be spicy. So some of my kids like spice, some don't. So we went in with the Oxtail seasoning. Also, I added in some Old Bay seasoning, and then my best friend lemon pepper. Have to add in the lemon pepper, y'all. Just gives it a nice balance. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, we're also adding in some minced garlic. That's about a tablespoon. And I'm going to add in some garlic paste. About a teaspoon of garlic paste. And the garlic paste is really, really good, especially if you have some that don't mind the garlic flavor but don't want the minced garlic. I added it in because it just amps up the garlic flavor, where the minced garlic just gives you a little bit here and there, in my opinion. So yeah, I want everything to be stirred nice and well. Y'all see me multitasking. I'm making sure my plant-based butter is evenly coated in that other pot over there. And then I'm making sure my veggies stay translucent or become translucent. I don't want them to burn or anything because I do have that eye on in the back on low. And then what we're going to do is just wait on our cream sauce here to come to a boil because we want it to thicken up really well. I'm going to add some garlic to these veggies also because all I added was the Caribbean seasoning, but I want flavor on flavor on flavor. And y'all, yes, give me some flavor. Once again, I'm multitasking, making sure my cashew cream doesn't boil over. So to this, y'all, we're going to add Follow Your Heart Parmesan shreds. Y'all, this is one of my favorites. One of my favorite cheeses. This is my go-to Parmesan cheese as far as grated cheese. And I only added in a little bit over half of the grated cheese. So now I'm going to go in with some nutritional yeast, which gives your food like a really cheesy taste. But not too cheesy, but I guess it depends on how much you add. So this amount here was just perfect. And you can also whisk this, but I'm still using my spatula because I didn't want to dirty up dishes, to be honest. So y'all, the smell in the kitchen was amazing. I just have to let y'all know that. I wish they had smell-o-vision. We're going to add our pasta in to this pot. Our pasta, of course, has been cooled down and rinsed off. So now I'll just give it a stir so that it can be coated in that butter, that plant-based butter. And this is why I didn't add oil, because I knew I would take the flavor of the plant-based butter and allow my pasta to be coated in that. I added in some pink Himalayan salt. I'm going in with some lemon pepper. And I like to just season my pasta, y'all, because flavor matters, okay? We're going to also use some Creole seasoning. Didn't want to come out at first, but yeah, we added in some of that Creole seasoning, and that has a little spice to it, not too much, but you could barely tell. It was super delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that in really, really well. I really just want to make sure the seasoning is on that pasta, which is why we added that butter also, so that the seasoning can stick to the pasta. We're going to go in with our plant-based chicken and give that a stir to make sure it is evenly incorporated. And y'all, oh my gosh, like I said, it smells so good up in here. Let's add these veggies on top, y'all. That is so pretty. Look at all the colors. The red, green, yellow, amarillo. Oh, my bad. That's Spanish. It's Caribbean style. Yeah, man. We're going to add in all of those veggies and stir them up into the dish really, really well. Yes. Yes. I got the red onions that came out very nice and translucent, and the peppers were soft and tender. Let's add in our cream now. Now, one thing I can't lie, y'all, I regret that my cashew cream was not as thick as I normally could get it. So I probably, to change that, I would have added 2 of the Follow Your Heart Parmesan cheese. And yeah, I think that would have helped it to thicken up really well. But the flavor, y'all, was off the chain. Really good, really nice. So we're going to give it a stir and just make sure everything is nice and mixed really, really well. Then we're going to add in the rest of our Follow Your Heart. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I would have added double the amount of the Follow Your Heart Parmesan cheese. But like I said, it was still really, really good. We're going to stir that in. And I'm not mixing this in extremely well because I kind of want it to sit on top or be in the dish when I add it to the bowl. And this is the end result. Y'all, can we give it up one time for the Rasta pasta? Yeah, man. Super delicious, y'all. If you decide to try this recipe, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Be blessed.